News 25 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, a missing Amargosa man is found alive, and additional immigration inmates are expected to arrive here in Nye County. News 25 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 25 with Unette Gentry. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
An endangered missing person is found alive. It's Thursday, May 16th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. 6 days missing in the desert and found alive. Glenn Grevin has been rescued. The Grevin's family contacted News 25 this morning to let us know that the Nye County Sheriff's Office notified the Amargosa family this morning that the 53-year-old mentally disabled adult was found walking on the side of the roadway. Grevin was taken to Desert View Hospital for a health evaluation and is expected to return home soon. I'm so glad. Well, Core Civic has immigration and customs enforcement detainees at their facility here in Pahrump. Now, the Nye County Sheriff's Office plans on using their extra space this summer for ICE inmates. This would include opening back up the shuttered Tonopah Detention Center. The plan would bring in extra money for the county after the first year. This item was discussed at the Board of County Commissioners meeting between Commissioners, the Nye County Sheriff Sharon Worley, and Lieutenant David Barokowitz. The proposal passed at a 4-1 vote.
For possible action, presentation, discussion, deliberation regarding a request from Nye County Sheriff's Office to enter into an agreement with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, for detention of ICE inmates.
Before we get started on our presentation to you about this ICE contract, I wanted to remind you that about 5 years ago, plus a month or two, I sat before you when you all voted to shut down the Tonopah jail, and the reasons for it were valid. At that time, I told you that I would go looking for a way to open the jail back up and possibly generate some revenue.
The current status of the Pahrump jail, staffing has been well below acceptable levels since 2012. Inmate and staff safety has been compromised, liabilities incurred, and our average daily population in the Pahrump jail is 180 and has continued to rise since 2012. Due to funding deficits, the Tonopah jail was closed. And as a result, since that time, we have been doing daily, sometimes twice daily, transports between Pahrump and Tonopah to accommodate arrests and to handle the court in the Tonopah Justice Court. The ICSA contract is slated in your backup for $92 a day per ICE inmate housed. We've guaranteed or allotted them 100 beds for ICE inmates. As of the last time I talked to them, which was last week, they could give us triple, quadruple, 500, 600 people immediately if we had the beds available. They have an extreme shortage for beds and have told us that really an unlimited amount of inmates they could give us that we could take. The 92 times 100 is $9,200 a day, and it equates to $3.358 million annual revenue from housing 100 of their detainees in our jail. It's limited to 13 detainees per trip because we would not have the room to transport them, and they will be providing us with an ICE vehicle. Only can be used for the ICE detainees, but it would be a vehicle to handle that transport to and from Vegas daily, including fuel and repairs to the vehicle. So that portion of the transport contract would be solely them paying us for our staff, which they're estimating a trip a day, 4 hours a trip. They've agreed to the wage of $45.50 per hour, which would more than cover our staff. and 2 deputies per trip. So they would do those 4 trips, or 4-hour trips Monday through Friday with 2 deputies assigned. That would equate to $18.20 a week, and an annual revenue solely from that portion of $94,640.
Well, right now we have tickets to the Las Vegas Lights Football Club for Saturday, May 25th at Cashman Field in Las Vegas. The Lights versus the Tulsa Roughnecks begins at 7:30 p.m. with a Zappos tailgate party at 5:30. If you want tickets, give us a call, 775-727-9400, extension 201. If you get our voicemail, just leave your name and number. News 25 will return right after this messages.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, are you tired of annoying robocalls? The government may crack down on them soon. Angela Miles reports on that and more.
Topping our news, car companies could be off the hook for higher tariffs for up to 6 months. CNBC is learning that from 3 sources that the Trump administration is planning the delay for the automotive sector. The report stirred up a rally in General Motors and in Ford. The interim boss of the FAA admits to lawmakers Boeing should have better explained its automated flight control system in the 737 MAX to pilots. The FAA expects Boeing will submit a software fix soon, giving a lift to that stock. Retail sales fell last month. The Commerce Department reports a drop of 0.2%. It's the second slip in 3 months, and also a sign Americans are using more caution when spending money. The FCC is out with a proposal to limit those annoying robocalls. The FCC wants to give phone companies the ability to use technology that would block those calls by default. Americans received 26 billion robocalls last year.
Well, a resource open house was held last night to help landlords and tenants gather information on programs that help renters get or stay in their homes. We spoke to the Nye County Health and Human Services Department to find out more.
In regards to Nye County Health and Human Services, we have a lot of programs that help with one-time needs in regards to rent. If someone is coming in that needs like past due or prospective landlord assistance, we can assist with that. Basically, they would just have to come in and get some of the list of documentation to apply, and if they get approved, we can help up to $400 towards that past due or that first month's rent. Well, we have Nevada Outreach, which was also here tonight. So the 3 of us actually came together and threw together this open house to try to educate the community and get them more involved in the housing needs of the Pahrump residents, because we're so in need of trying to help the residents of Nye County of getting into a home. The homeless needs are very much in crisis, and we're just trying to figure out a way to come together and get that taken care of. Well, we offer a lot of different various services in regards to food, transportation, employment. It just depends on what they're looking for. A lot of times if they come in for one thing, we'll actually try to see if we can either get them qualified for additional services that we host in our office, or we try to refer them to a source they can.
This is the first one that you guys held?
Yes.
And so if people missed tonight here at the Valley Conference Center, how can they find out more?
I think that they would be able to contact Nevada Outreach at 775-751-1118.
And Christy Mills from Nevada Outreach and Training says that they have all types of services under their roof. They even offer housing resources to help those in need.
So tonight we were talking about the rental and utility assistance that we can provide for people who are either moving into a new unit for that first month's rent, or essentially needing assistance, one-time rental assistance. We're talking to people about different resources in the community that we can connect them to, whether that be the resources over at Nye County Health and Human Services, the Energy Assistance Program, and then just trying to bridge that gap, doing budgeting assistance, case management, and trying to figure out all of the barriers that they're facing in order to help them, essentially, instead of giving handouts, giving a hand up.
All right. And these services, a lot of people don't even know about them, right?
A lot of people don't, and when they learn about these services, they assume that it's hard to receive these services, or they just assume that the person who needs these services are going to continue needing these services. So we're trying to talk to the homeowners and landlords out there, trying to educate them on people living paycheck to paycheck that may have had an unforeseen circumstance go on, and that doesn't mean that this is a constant thing in their life, and that we're here to help bridge those gaps.
Is this a grant-funded program?
This is a grant-funded program, and then we also work with the county, which is Health and Human Services, and then we've got Nevada Rural Housing Authority, which does the housing choice vouchers. The area representative does the inspections, gives the vouchers, and the vouchers that need so that they can move. So she's here as well to kind of talk about what that inspection looks like, what the criteria for housing looks like, and what the fair housing market looks like. So just to know what we are looking at from our end, what we're able to pay and things like that. So we have a lot. So it's kind of a very long spiel on what we've got going on at Nevada Outreach. But we have No to Abuse, which is domestic violence and elder abuse. We've got the Child Advocacy Center for children who have been sexually abused or physically abused to a criminal level. We have the Independent Living for Foster Youth program. We have Title IV-B and DR, which both work with DCFS to try and take care of those at-risk children that are either having educational neglect, environmental neglect, or things like that, and coming alongside those families and helping them with education and assistance to try and keep those children in that home. So through Title IV-B, we have somebody who does parenting classes, grandparent support group, life skills classes, and anger management for women.
Wow. And of course, that 24-hour hotline for any victims of domestic violence or abuse, they can call as well. What's the number to call?
So they can actually call the office at any time, and usually an advocate's there. If an advocate is not there, we can provide that hotline, but it's actually through that main number, 775-751-1118, and after hours, it'll patch you right on through to that emergency phone number.
And here's Josh with today's Great Computer Deals Tech Tip.
Reporting from my man cave, it's Josh from Pahrumph's own Great Computer Deals, and it's time for another quick tutorial. Task Manager Part 1. Do you know that there are programs on your computer that are set to run every time you turn it on? How do you change that? Well, take your mouse and instead of left-clicking on your Start menu, right-click and choose Task Manager. Under Task Manager, you'll find a tab called Startup. And under Startup, you'll be presented with a list of programs that are set to run every time you turn on your computer. To be honest, most of the stuff in this list is not absolutely necessary, so all you got to do to disable one of those programs is click on the title and hit the Disable button. Keep in mind that your antivirus might be in this list as well. You want to go ahead and leave that one alone. Still need help? Come to our store where you'll find low prices and friendly faces. We're located at 1190 East Highway 372, or call us at 775-990-8833.
All right, well, is there a chance that your electrical rates may go up again? We'll tell you about that when we return.
News 25 is brought to you by Bill and Robin Law, injury attorneys. Injured, need money? Get Bill and Robin, your local Pahrump injury attorneys.
Well, Valley Electric Association's interim CEO says that rate increases are a good possibility in the near future. One of the issues, Richard Peck says, is the buyback of homeowner-generated solar power that the state has required the co-op to do. The rate is higher than VEA purchases power for, usually, and members who don't have solar panels pick up the check.
The overall federal law has allowed net metering since the early 1970s. It has been a really good national policy. Unfortunately, here in the state of Nevada, for whatever reason in 2017, there was a lot of people that were upset with Nevada Energy, and they came up with a policy that simply does not make economic sense, nor really makes any sense other than gives an opportunity to create a lot of issues with any small utility. And let me just give you an idea. If you're going to install a solar panel on your roof, that's fine. I want to tell you that I have no problem with that, and then you get to net off with your use against that. But what happened, the state went on and went a step further, saying all the energy produced beyond your net metering, we have to pay at a selected rate that's a tremendous subsidy. And what it amounts to, by the end of this year, we're going to have 500 solar panels installed at members. Those 500 individual 20-year contracts will require us to raise rates over that time period by $3.8 or $3.4 million to other subscribers, other members are going to have to subsidize that particular rate. We're actually paying $112 a megawatt hour for all that energy that's produced by solar, and I can acquire that same energy for about $50 a megawatt hour. It's not being cut off. It's we're going to change some metering concepts. Right now, we have a special meter. You can use one meter to both offset your net metering and also turn around and on the production side. And then once a year, we'll clear that out. What we're going to require in the future is there's going to be one meter for net metering and be one meter for the production side. So you're going to have a 2-meter system and make sure that that distributed unit also can be disconnected if there's no power, because we worry about the safety side of it. So that's probably going to cost another $300 to $400 for solar people in the future, and the board's working on this policy right now. The other thing is that state law gives us some flexibility to reducing the overall subsidy over time. But if you're a larger utility, it's not an issue. But a smaller utility, for example, the law says if you have 80 megawatts of solar, rooftop solar, you can start reducing it from 98% down to 75% your net metering costs. Well, first of all, we don't only hit 80 megawatts about 2 or 3 times a year, and therefore it really doesn't help a small utility and cost a lot of money for the policies put in place in 2017. So again, the board is going to take the state law and make it reflective of a smaller utility concept, and we're going to be reducing the overall monies that we pay down to the level the state has set, which is 75% of the rate.
Is that kind of a foreshadowing that we might be looking at some more increases?
Well, absolutely. Even if you if you take $3.4 million and we're now paying $112 for it, that's what it's going to cost us. Excuse me. You reduce that cost down to 75%. So what's 75% of really $3.4 million is right at the level of $2+ million. We have to collect that money from the rest of the members to subsidize the solar units that are on these homes. So again, the policy in place does not bode well for the future, and we will have to raise rates to collect the additional funds to put in place solar. It's just simply not a good policy.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Some crazy weather out there today. Let's take a look. I can hear that wind just howling. I think I saw something flying by. I'm not sure. It might have been a cow. Anyways, we're going to have your weather report right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donahue with today's temperatures. Now today we are seeing some cooler temperatures across the map. In Las Vegas we had a high of 74, a low of 53 degrees. In Death Valley at 85-59. Amargosa, a high of 71, a low of 46, 67-42 in Beatty, Goldfield at 53-33, Tonopah with a high of 50, a low of 33, Carson City at 54-38, Fallon at 59-41, and Fernley at 58-40. Now today in Pahrump, we had a high of 68 degrees, and we did have a 60% chance of rain, so it has been raining this morning. We have winds coming out of the south at 22 miles per hour, humidity at 34%, and our sunrise at 5:36 a.m. Now for tonight, it's currently 67 degrees outside with clear skies. Our low tonight will be 46 degrees with winds coming out of the south at 14 miles per hour, humidity at 45%, and our sunset tonight at 7:43 p.m. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, that rain just does not want to leave us alone. On Sunday and Monday, we have a 20% chance of rain, and then next Thursday showing a 30%. So we are going to keep an eye on that and see how that develops. Now tomorrow for Friday, we are expecting some sunny skies with a high of 73 degrees and a low of 50. On Saturday, we're seeing a high of 78, a low of 57. Sunday, we have that 20% with a high of 69 and a low of 47. And then Monday through Thursday, our high temperatures are looking pretty good. About those mid-70s, just between 70 and 76 degrees. And our overnights are looking pretty cool as well, just between 50 and 55 degrees from Monday to Thursday. So now if you can't make it home in time to catch the news live on TV, make sure to check out our Facebook page. You can catch the news live every night at 5, as well as any other news and updates. So now we're going to throw it back to the desk with Matt.
Thanks, Michael. Well, that wraps up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell from all of us here at KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio 103.1 FM. Have a great night. See you back here tomorrow.